Once upon a time, most first-person shooters looked like this. This is Acknowledgements, World of Doom. It set the groundwork for early 3D gaming. You'd be placed in the middle of a maze Richard Garriott drew on some graph paper, and the game would draw lines and squares correspondent to your position in this maze, creating the illusion of 3D. Every once in a while, a stinky orc would jump in your face, and you'd press shoot to take it down for some extra power. It was neat. People enjoyed these dungeon crawler games. Later dungeon crawler games looked a lot fancier, but played about the same as Acknowledgements. You were still moving around grid squares while the games pretended you weren't. That was as good as it got until super prodigy John Carmack introduced himself with his ambitious new game called Wolfenstein 3D. Using the unholy power of math, John Carmack was able to make real 3D gaming on PC by scaling the size of some images based on how close or far away you were from them. A few other games used these same tricks, but Wolf 3D wasn't just a technical marvel. John Romero, the game's designer, was a real gamer, keeping up with all the hottest releases. Games like Ikari Warriors, or the original Wolfenstein, where ammo wasn't infinite, much like in real life, giving him the idea to emphasize just how real Wolf 3D could be. The end result was a game unlike anything else ever made, the closest you'd get to being deep behind enemy lines in World War II. Real-life battle tactics apply here. You always gotta look around the bends before you leap into the open. Death could be around any corner, and you don't want to get caught in Nazi crossfire. Yet, there's still a lot of arcadey instant gratification abound. Fun was still the de facto standard for game design, so there's stashes of golden treasures about just because they're fun to collect. It's so great! It paved the way for simulation games as we know them today, with arcade dopamine hits, bringing the best features of such games, like escaping as fast as possible for more score. Its success marked the end of the dungeon crawler and the start of the first-person shooter as we know it. It also firmly cemented id Software's rockstar status for years to come. That was then. This is now. So, does Wolfenstein 3D hold up today? In my opinion, better than you'd expect. If you get the game through Steam or GOG and run it without any mods or source ports, it plays decently. Carmack had the foresight to let you change your controls, so you can use WASD or your favorite modern equivalent, with a few oddities. Developers haven't quite refined these strafing or turning controls yet, so you have to move the mouse the same direction you're turning to spin around at an acceptable speed. It's way too slow otherwise, especially for the last few levels. It's weird, but you can get used to it. Or download EC Wolf, put the files in your Wolfenstein 3D folder, and enjoy the wonders of strafing in your classic game. The control quirks aside, the level design's the only antiquated thing here. It's flat and somewhat repetitive compared to today's elaborate constructs, but I'll cut the granddad game some slack. That's all most PCs could do back then. The superb audio and brisk gameplay ensure it's always fun to mow down those nasty Nazis. That's what first-person shooters are all about. Satisfaction. If I'm having a bad day, I always feel better when I get on this game and make those racist motherfuckers scream. I had a blast running through Wolf 3D's 30 levels. I'm not in a hurry to replay or speedrun it, but but it's a great way to spend a few evenings. If I were to judge how well it held up today, I'd give it a solid B+. So why can't Mastercard stand this groundbreaking game? The shocking ending, featuring non-consensual mutilation of a person. When you win, your chain gun blows so many holes in Hitler's skin that he deflates from rapid blood loss, making one of the most badass endings in video game history. Yes, can we see that again?
Eva, auf Wiedersehen.
Ho ho! That's excessively violent and over the top compared to everything else in Wolf 3D, and rightfully so. If I found out this awful man killed my grandpa and thousands of other dudes just because they were Jews, I'd be pretty pissed too. This doesn't constitute serious artistic merit, but come on! Are we really going to show any respect to the man that inhumanely gassed thousands of innocent people? Is Mommy Mastercard so scared of a little blood you'd rather censor World War II? Ridiculous. I have a better idea. Rather than censoring anything remotely scary because you don't want you or your kids to see it, why don't you explain why something is scary? Then you'd actually be protecting the kids, not just hiding history from them altogether so they become as stupid as Hitler. There are some deranged individuals that glamorize Hitler's racist rhetoric. If you want to ban their games, that's okay. But you shouldn't be silencing people reminding you why a bad thing is bad in the first place. The game hates Hitler for a very good reason, and it'll only be good for our children if they learn most Jews are cool people, just like everyone else. Wolfenstein 3D can't teach you history, but the hatred it has for Hitler reminds us why it's wrong to judge someone's appearance without getting to know them first. And that's worth keeping uncensored. Spread the word wherever you can. This is Kyo Kusagani, over and out.